Okay, so the question is, how do we know when we're doing a birth injury case? How do we help families determine the value of the case? What's the number? It's always marked as well. What's a good number for this case? If we're going into mediation or we're going to trial, how do we know the number? Is 1 million enough? 5 million? Are they 10 million? How do we know? And so to be able to understand this question, we have to step back and we have to look at it from how we go about setting up these cases, putting these cases together, and being able to advise parents. One of the most important elements of these cases is the fourth element, which I call damages. And that is generally the injury that is done. That's the harm that's done in our context. And so for a baby that has suffered a traumatic brain injury at birth, that baby is going to have injury and going to have harm, damages. And when we're putting the case together, we have experts who help us, they assist us as to understanding the critical issues in these types of cases. And one expert that we use is called a life care planner, a certified life care planner. And these experts, they deal with injury and disability, and they look at the needs of not only the baby, but the things that the baby is going to need as that baby gets older. 1 year old, 5 years old, 10 years old, for their life. And this life care planner, once they do their report, they'll come out to see the family. They will assess the needs. Like if they're, for example, if a wheelchair is needed, that's going to be needed throughout the child's life. If the home needs to be retrofitted, that will be taken into consideration.
Also, if the car needs to be modified as well, or they need a specialty vehicle,
that's going to be taken into consideration. All of these things go into, as we say, the pot, and they help us understand the damages. And this is not just including medical care and treatment that's going to be needed. All of the things that we can think of that a child in this type of situation in a family is going to need. This is how we are able to assess the damages amount. And so when we're looking at a baby that has a traumatic brain injury, these cases, it's going to depend, of course, on the injury and what each family has going on. But these cases can be in the millions of dollars once you put everything together that child is going to need. Now, one size does not fit all for these types of cases. Each child and each family, they're going to have specific things that will be specific to them. And that's why it's imperative that we do an investigation into the case, that we get the medical records, that we do all of the back end things that we do to be able to advise a family and help them understand these types of critical issues. If you have more questions, there's a telephone number on the screen. I invite you to go ahead and pick up the phone and call us. We talk with families like yours all the time about these types of issues, traumatic brain injuries, may it be HIE, hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy, or a subsequent CP or cerebral palsy diagnosis, meconium aspiration syndrome, shoulder dystocia, a host of other types of birth trauma related issues. This is what we do. One more thing, there is a telephone number on the screen, like I said, and when you pick up the phone and call us, just make sure that you let our secretary know that you would like to get on our calendar for a date and a time. That's important. A time also, a date and a time as to when you would like to speak with us. It costs absolutely nothing to talk with us about your baby story. One more thing before we get out of here. We practice law here in the state of Maryland. And I know this video is online, it's on social media, on website, and some of these other types of platforms, and we can't control who contacts us. So if you're not in Maryland and you call us, just understand that we have to use what we call co-counsel or local counsel. In other words, an attorney in your state. And that's something that we can help work with you on, but I just want to make sure that you understand that co-counsel or local counsel aspect of things. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston.
and I'm Renee Boston.
And we are birth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law here in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group, LLC. And we will talk with you next time. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.